We'll be delving into the stirring verses of Psalm 35 and covering the emotional depths and inspiring messages within. So take a moment to find a quiet space and join me on this journey of discovery and connection. Psalm 35 is a heartfelt plea for divine intervention, protection, and vindication. It showcases the raw emotions and vulnerability that can emerge during challenging times. As we explore this psalm together, let's remember that we all face trials in our lives, and it's through these moments that we can draw closer to the divine. If this video resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our channel for more soul-nourishing content. Let's begin with the first 3 verses. Plead my cause, O my Lord. With them that strive with me, fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. In these opening lines, the psalmist calls upon God to be their champion and defender. They ask God to stand up for them in the face of adversity, seeking reassurance that God is indeed their salvation. This plea demonstrates the deep yearning for divine protection during times of strife. As we continue with verses 4 through 6, we see the psalmist asking for divine justice. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. Here, the psalmist seeks retribution against those who have wronged them. The imagery of adversaries being like chaff before the wind and treading on a dark, slippery path emphasizes the psalmist's desire for God to intervene and bring about justice. Moving forward to verses 7 through 10, we see the psalmist describe their innocence and express gratitude for God's intervention. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. My whole being will exclaim, Who is like you, Lord? You rescue the poor from those too strong for them, the poor and needy from those who rob them. The psalmist emphasizes their innocence, highlighting that they've been wronged without cause. In response to God's intervention, the psalmist rejoices and offers praise, acknowledging the divine power to save and uplift the downtrodden. As we delve into verses 11 through 14, the psalmist reveals their heartache and the depth of their emotions. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one that mourneth for his mother. Here, the psalmist laments the betrayal they faced, as false witnesses have risen against them. Despite the kindness and empathy they've shown towards others, they've been met with cruelty. This portrayal of deep pain and heartbreak highlights the human vulnerability that we all experience in times of suffering. Explore the hopeful message in verses 15 through 18. But when I stumbled, they gathered in glee. Assailants gathered against me without my knowledge. They slandered me without ceasing. With hypocritical mockers and feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destructions, my precious life from these lions. I will give the thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. The psalmist reiterates their trust in God and vows to give thanks and praise publicly. This resilient faith serves as an anchor in the storm, a reminder that even in our darkest moments, we can find solace in our connection to the divine. From verse 19 to 22, the psalmist speaks about their enemies who are celebrating their suffering and plotting against them. They ask God not to allow these individuals to triumph or find joy in their pain. The mention of enemies winking with the eye emphasizes the deceitful and malicious nature of their adversaries. Stir up thyself, and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. Judge me, Lord, my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. The psalmist pleads for divine intervention, seeking God's fair judgment and imploring God to prevent their enemies from rejoicing over their misfortunes. This heartfelt plea reveals the psalmist's deep reliance on God's wisdom and guidance. Verses 25 through 27 emphasize the psalmist's longing for justice and for God to defend them against their enemies. Let them not say in their hearts, "So would we have it." Let them not say, "We have swallowed him up." Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Let them say continually, "Let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant." The psalmist seeks divine intervention to prevent their enemies from boasting about their suffering. They ask for their adversaries to be ashamed and confused, while those who support their righteous cause should rejoice and praise God. This passage highlights the importance of trusting in God's ability to bring about justice and protect the righteous. Finally, in verse 28, the psalmist reiterates their dedication to praising God. "And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness, and of thy praise all the day long." In spite of the challenges they face, the psalmist remains committed to extolling God's righteousness and offering praise. This unwavering devotion serves as a powerful reminder to us all. Even in the midst of our trials, we can find solace and strength in our faith and the divine connection that sustains us. These verses beautifully illustrate the profound emotions and the deep faith that can arise during times of adversity. As we reflect on these words, may we too find comfort and courage in our faith, trusting that God will be with us through every challenge that we encounter. Until next time, stay encouraged and keep seeking His face.